Good evening. How's everybody doing? I'm Kelly. Welcome to Solution Seekers. It's the weekend. It's Saturday, and I hope everybody's living well. I would really appreciate it if you could like. It would really help me out, and also subscribe if you haven't. I just wanted to come on here for a few minutes before I go take my nightly drive, and I hope that everybody is just coping with everything. I've been seeing on Twitter and Facebook, and it's a lot of people just plain nasty, and I just hope that's not you. I hope that you're dealing with this dilemma the best way possible. It's what it is, and the only thing that we can do is just try to do the best that we can to try to keep our emotional stability, keep our family safe, keep yourself safe, and hopefully do what you can for the people who can't actually get out. Within the last few days, there's been a lot of opinions as to what's the best appropriate form of action. And for me, the best thing that I can do is just sometimes the best thing I can do is do nothing. I'm just only one person, and I would like to hope that I'm not causing any harm. I'll try to do more good than bad. But everybody has a decision that they have to make. Some states wanted to open up beaches. Some states want to open up prematurely in defiance of the government. And if that works for you, so be it. I mean, I'm struggling financially, but I think that there's over 22 million people have been unemployed. So 10 years of gains have just been washed within weeks. What's the best choice of action? I don't know. I know that in moments of adversity, this is adversity or opposition is my time to grow from it, to learn from it, to hopefully level up in some ways. If not, even if it's just emotionally growing from it, using this time to do some things that I've always wanted to do. I was going through some paperwork, and I seen some stuff from years ago, and I didn't really want to be reminded of it, but I was. So I just dealt with it, and it was just part of my past. But it's just something that I had to accept. It doesn't define me, but it's just a part of my past, and my as some friends of mine like to say, it's a part of my life's journey, and it's a part of it. And there's nothing I can do but take ownership of it. I have to take ownership of all the decisions that I make, but more so, the decisions that I make, I have to take responsibility of from them today. And I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. And sometimes your best is not good enough, and I always like to think that there's always so much more than I can possibly do. But you know what? I've tried to force some friends of mine that I committed myself to during this lockdown, during this quarantine. Not so much lockdown, but this quarantine. And if they can't get out, I will do what I can to accommodate them. But I guess as time goes by, they feel that they're in a good position to go do that, to go out and handle their business or run their errands or whatever. Hey, so much better. I'll just sit at home and do me to the best of my ability. Today, during this quarantine, this is days I've actually did nothing the whole entire day, and I don't know how people can do that because I'm always focused on having something, doing some research, reading. But I did completely nothing, and if you see, I'm sweating because it's 10:30 at night. And it's about 90 degrees here in Los Angeles, and unfortunately, I don't have an air conditioner. I don't like air conditioners. There's one in my bedroom, but it's I just don't like using it. It just gets too cold, so I'll just suffer. But so what's your purpose during all this time? Is there something during this quarantine that you've always wanted to do, but you didn't have the time to do it? And I'm not. Maybe that might be a Netflix series or Amazon Prime series or whatever. I will make some suggestions to some people who used to write to get back into the WordPress. Me myself, I'm trying to reestablish myself in my career, and I might be going into something else, which is new and interesting. But you know, it's I have to. There has to be some type of element of all this time to where I could do something that's more progressive for myself as opposed to just, I'm focused on physical therapy, I'm walking, I'm exercising, I've been doing projects around the house. I've been doing fixing a few devices for people at their houses, in their garages and stuff, but that's just like something I like doing, tinkering around with stuff. But there has to be something that has more meaning. My why for me is that whatever in all my endeavors, I commit myself fully and totally and completely. Otherwise, why even do it? To half-ass to do anything, it's just not in my nature. I screwed up. I didn't when I was a screw up. I did half-ass it. So when I'm on the flip side of that, I try to do everything to the best of my ability, and sometimes it doesn't work out. So then I have to scratch it, start all over again, and then redo it and come at it from a different perspective. And lo and behold, everything comes out a lot better. And then in the process of that, I'm learning something new. So the next time I do it, I will see where I've made those mistakes. Because mistakes, failures are not stumbling points for me. They're just I have to start looking at them as more adversity, and if I can learn from it, reposition myself so when I come on the opposite side of it, come out stronger, fiercer, and hopefully I can elaborate this to somebody else who may be struggling with the same point, or going through that same process and they're just getting stuck. And I think that each one, reach one, teach one. That's always been a hallmark of mine, but I never really actually applied it or lived it. I don't try to apply anything. I try to live everything that I do to the. Sometimes I get overextended, which it gets interesting. But and then sometimes I have to come back, and because I have a tendency on putting all my efforts into it, and then that much a little bit more that I'm feeling emptied, and so I get to that crushing point. But then once everything is over, I kind of like I'll look back, do an assessment, and see what I did right, what I did wrong, what did I learn from it, and how can next time when I reach this same situation, how can I improve on it? And and for all intents and purposes, it's got me to some pretty good places. You know, um, I still have my doubts about myself, about my capacity to do anything because I let the script to run in my head. But at the end of the day, I have to change that script up and immediately replace it with something else. Or if not, I will call or text one of my friends because sometimes my perspective on myself is not good enough for me. So, but what I can use is somebody's idea of me as a way of that validation that I needed at any important time because I think that something we need is we all need some some type of validation. Whether people want to believe that or not, but I used to tell people that if when they were feeling bad about themselves, especially women, to just change your profile picture and watch all those men come up. Ooh, girl, look at this. You know what I mean? And I do that myself sometimes, and sometimes I have to make fun of myself, and that kind of like takes me out of that hole. But as far as having that script that plays in my head, it's just like it's all those negative aspects that are just going on in the mind, and you're not good enough. Oh, you're too tall, or you look this way. It's all that perception, and all that stuff is fake. It's just my mind telling me it because there's something that I'm putting a lot of emphasis in, and that I want it to come. Don't we all want things to work out well? But then I have to remember that if I'm trying to control the process, I don't really care about any of that. So that's what constantly once I'm reminded of something, it always brings me back to square one. Is that I can't control the outcomes. All the thing I can do is just go through the process and learn from it. And then to each and sometimes people are just going to tell you no, but you keep on going, but don't never tell yourself no. And I think that's really crucial because it's never what anybody tells you, but it's what you tell yourself that ultimately matters. And I just wanted to come in. I just wanted to take a few minutes to come over here and chime in on that, and I just really genuinely hope that everybody is just doing all right. And if nobody has told you that they care and love you, oh, I'm here to tell you that I do, genuinely do, even though I don't know you. But if you're feeling if you're feeling hard pressed about your situation or what's going on, just remember, man, somebody else is always going through it, and sometimes that much worse. So that allows me to see that, man. You know what? I might feel bad about whatever, But I have to see that somebody else is doing worse because I couldn't imagine what it's like to be homeless going through all this right now. I'm grateful that I have what I have. Because without that, what would I really have? You know. Well, hope you got some quality and value out of this, and I hope to see you soon. Have a great weekend.